Let us discuss about monobactams, that is Aztreonam. See the objectives today: the introduction, chemistry, mechanism of action, antibacterial spectrum, bacterial resistance, clinical use, and pharmacokinetics, adverse effects, followed by the conclusion. The monocyclic beta-lactams, they contain a single beta-lactam ring which is isolated from a bacteria. So the monobactams, these are actually monocyclic beta-lactams which have a single beta-lactam ring, and these were isolated from bacteria. Now Aztreonam is the first commercially available monobactam, and relatively they are later additions. They were introduced around 1986 in USA. And the most prominent feature about Aztreonam is this is the only beta-lactam antibiotic that lacks cross-reactivity with other beta-lactam antibiotics. And because of this prominent feature of lack of cross-reactivity with other beta-lactam antibiotics, its use, permitting its use in patients who are allergic to penicillin or cephalosporin. Those patients who are allergic to penicillin or cephalosporin, we can still give the Aztreonam. Carumoma and Tigemonum, these are the newer monobactams which are under evaluation. Now, if you see the chemical structure, we are well acquainted with the structure of penicillin and cephalosporin. You can see the structure of penicillin nucleus having the 6-amino penicillinic acid and the beta-lactam ring which is fused to the thiazolidine ring. And the penicillin, they are susceptible to the bacterial metabolism as well as inactivation by the amidases as well as the lactamases. So in the diagram it is seen. Whereas if you see the structure of cephalosporin, it is the 7-amino cephalosporinic acid. We have the beta-lactam ring which is fused with the dihydrothiazine ring. Now, if you see the structure of the monobactam, they contain a single ring. The beta-lactam ring is single here, hence it is known as the monolactam. And this is a unique structure. And because of this unique structure, they are highly resistant to the gram-negative lactamases. The mechanism of action, it is similar in action. It is a beta-lactam antibiotic, so it is having a similar action to the penicillin and cephalosporins. It inhibits the bacterial cell wall synthesis by blocking the peptidoglycan cross-linking, and it has a bactericidal action. It binds to the specific penicillin binding protein of the aerobic gram-negative microbes. So it has a special affinity for the penicillin binding protein of the gram-negative organisms. And Aztreonam, it binds to the penicillin binding protein of gram-positive and anaerobic bacteria very poorly. Therefore, it is inactive against them. So we can see that it is highly effective against gram-negative organism, and it is ineffective against the gram-positive and anaerobic organisms. If we see the antibacterial spectrum, it has a very good activity against gram-negative organism like the Pseudomonas aeruginosa, also Citrobacter, Haemophilus, Serratia species, Enterobacter, Klebsiella, E. coli, and Proteus. It has no useful activity against the gram-positive organisms and against the anaerobes. So meaning thereby that Aztreonam has a narrow spectrum of activity, and it is also known as a beta-lactam antibiotic with spectrum resembling the aminoglycoside. So we can remember that Aztreonam, it starts with A, aminoglycoside is also starts with A. So we can remember that Aztreonam is one beta-lactam which has an action just like aminoglycosides. Now if you see the bacterial resistance, the Aztreonam is very highly resistant to the gram-negative lactamases. So this property it makes it very useful in cases where there is elaboration of the chromosomal cephalosporinases by the gram-negative organisms. Now the elaboration of the chromosomal cephalosporinases by the gram-negative organisms, it is responsible for causing hydrolysis of the cephalosporins very, very rapidly. And because of this, it has led to clinical failure of certain cephalosporins. So against this cephalosporinosis, the aztreonam is very, very effective because aztreonam binds very tightly and it acts as a potent inactivator of the cephalosporinases. It is clinically used in certain conditions like the hospital acquired infections occurring due to the gram-negative organisms like the urinary tract infections, lower respiratory tract infections, skin infections, septicemia, biliary infections, gastrointestinal infections, certain bone infections, and gynecological infections. Here it is given by the parenteral injections, that is intramuscular or the IV injection. Now recently, it has also been given as an inhalation route also. The aztreonam has been given in the treatment of Pseudomonas aeruginosa infection occurring in the cystic fibrosis patient. It is recently approved in 2010 by the inhalation route. You see the pharmacokinetics. It is eliminated unchanged in urine. It has a T-half of 1.8 hours and this T-half is prolonged in renal failure and it is supposed to be safe in pregnancy. The adverse effects are pain at the injection site and vomiting and occurrence of the rash. And also there is the increase in the aminotransferase. So to conclude, we can see that the aztreonam, which is a monobactam, it has an antimicrobial activity, which is different from imipenem. Imipenem is a carbapenem, and it is also different from the newer cephalosporins, and it is having a restricted action on the gram-negative organism. It has a very good activity against the Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and it is given parenterally. And it can be remembered in terms of that aztreonam is a beta-lactam antibiotic, which has an action just like aminoglycoside.